Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Small Biz Better Summit Day 2. We are so happy to see you all, to have you all here. Your participation in Day 1 was phenomenal, truly blew us away. We are humbled. Thank you so much for your comments, your praise, your questions, your participation. Just absolutely, it really just warms our heart that we're able to touch and share so much value with everyone all over the world. We have people from all over the world joining us today and yesterday and tomorrow on Day 1, 2, and 3. So this is just truly exciting times. With that, let's go ahead and jump on into kind of the, before I jump into, I'm ready to talk about marketing. I got to introduce the summit, Day 2. So let me back up a little bit. So yes, we are on Day 2. As many of you have commented, Day 1 was phenomenal. I'm going to expand my screen so that you can see me. There we go. All right, so Day 1, phenomenal. We had so many of you participating, and it was just great. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome home. We're so happy to have you. If this is your second time coming back, welcome back. Happy to have you as well. Also indicate in the chat there if this is your first time or if this is or if you were here yesterday. We just like to know who all is. We just like to know the numbers. We're a numbers kind of agency, and we collect as many numbers and many data points as we possibly can. So Day 1, awesome. So many of you are joining us from around the world. We had so many countries, so many states joining us today, yesterday. And today, we want to know where you are from as well. Yesterday, some people fussed at us in the comments after we were looking back. The comments were just going back so fast that we couldn't keep track of every single place that people were from. But we will try to read out as many of the places you're from as humanly possible. So go ahead and enter those in the chat. The chat is being moderated. So when you type, you'll see your response, but you won't see responses from anyone else. That's because we're moderating the chat on our end. We see everything. We see all of your chats. We see all of your questions, all of your earlier, many of you were talking about, hey, wait, there's an echo. We see all of that on our end, right? And please let us know if something isn't right, if the video stopped or something like that. Let us know so that we can take quick action to resolve that fast. So where are you guys and gals from? Let us know. We have, of course, Orlando in the house. That is, I'm biased to Orlando. I live in Orlando. Our company is actually global. My employees are global. We are all over the globe, but I do live here in Orlando. So Orlando is a special place here in my heart. North Carolina, welcome. Okay, wait, you guys are going fast. Just keep typing in. We'll call as many as we possibly can. London is back. Awesome. One of our speakers is from the UK, and you'll be hearing from him, I think today. JP, I think is today's Day 2 session, or maybe he was yesterday. I think he's Day 2. So he's from the UK. Awesome. India is back. Welcome. We would love to have more people from India join us as well. If you were here yesterday, the person from India, I just saw the country. If you were here yesterday, also let us know that was you here yesterday, or if this is your first day. We'd love to know that as well. Where else do we have represented? I see Chicago, of course. Chicago, we have several clients and business partners out there. Texas, New York is back in the house, of course. More Florida. Seems like Florida is really just representing. Kissimmee, Florida, that's a suburb of Orlando, that's back here in the house. We have California. Most of our clients actually are out in California, Southern California. So pleasure to see you back here again. Southern California, Los Angeles, awesome. San Diego, Southern California area. San Diego is here. Delaware, looks like we have Delaware. Somebody back again from Delaware. Awesome. So happy to have you join us. We have, looks like, okay, more Florida. Florida is just representing. Florida, we holding it down. I love that. I see another Azalea Park, Florida. Azalea Park, Orange County, Florida. I'm not familiar with that. I need to, that's awesome. Azalea Park, Florida. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. I'd love to know where exactly that is. Okay, Georgia is back. Awesome. So many of you from all over the country, all over the world. Again, this is just awesome. So thank you again so much for joining us. I see more of you coming in. If we get a break a little later in the session, I'll make sure that we address or acknowledge as many of you as humanly possible. Awesome, awesome. While we're doing this live session, we want you to continue to enter all your questions that you have. It's important, especially as you think it. If you think of the question, it's more than likely someone else has that question as well. So go ahead and enter that in the chat. Also, let us know what you liked about day one. We got a lot of praise. This is great. This is awesome. And we love that. And we want to know what aspects you found were great. That helps us deliver even better summits to you. This is what summit is this for us? I don't know. Let me ask 6. This is summit 6 for us, right? And this summit is the way it is because through the last 5 summits, we just continually improved. So let us know what it is that you like. If there's things you didn't care for, go ahead and let us know that as well so that we can take a look at those things as well. And you can enter it right there in the chat. That chat is the end all be all. Capture everything in that chat. We would love to hear any and everything that you have to say. Also, enter your takeaways. Takeaways from the speakers, takeaway from my session yesterday, day 1 of marketing in uncertain times. We're going to do day 2 today of marketing in uncertain times. But also, what are your takeaways from not only my session, but from all of the sessions? Go ahead and enter those in the chat as well. We just love to collect as much of that information as possible so that we can continue to bring you great content. Also, what I'd love for you to do now that we're about to begin day 2 of marketing in uncertain times is I'd love for you to enter your challenges that you're having in your business. And just some of those challenges in 5 or 6 words, but type that in the chat. What are the challenges you're having in your business? In general, it doesn't even have to be a marketing problem. Just what challenges are you having? And feel free to speak in layman's terms. Part of our job is to translate layman's terms into business terms and marketing terms. So enter your challenges, enter the challenges that you're having in your business and challenges that you're having in your marketing. And we'll capture those in the chat. And one thing it'll also help us do is better tailor tomorrow's presentation for those challenges that you're having. Also, I want to remind you, tonight we have the conscious conversation that's speaking about how small businesses can play a role in today's the chaos that's going on today. How can small businesses make an impact, make any transformation in society, or have difficult conversations? So many great conversations that we've been seeing over the last several weeks regarding the unfortunate death of George Floyd and the movements the worldwide movement actually that sparked as a result. We're going to have that conscious conversation. It's going to be live tonight, live day 2 evening. So I can't say tonight because depending on where you are in the world, it'll be in the morning. So that conscious conversation day 2, make sure you attend that and bring your questions, bring the hard questions. We have myself, Sean Smith, Amy Summers, all of whom were on day 1 of the summit. And all 3 of us will be there live to discuss, answer your questions, and have really a forward moving conversation on how this impacts small businesses and how small businesses can thrive in such an environment, contribute in such an environment, and really just make a difference. So definitely attend that tonight. We're so looking forward to that. And without any further ado, let us jump on in to day 2 of marketing in uncertain times. And so this is a 3-part series. If you missed part 1, we definitely encourage you, make sure you watch the replay because we really went deep into 3 key areas. I'm going to touch on those 3 key areas again here today, just briefly. But we really want you to dive deep into the depth that we went into on day 1 because we really had a great conversation. So here, day 2, we're going to pick up where we left off on day 1. Day 1, the 3 things that we talked about were 3 things that you can start doing for your marketing in uncertain times like we're in right now. And if you've been watching the news and things of that sort, times are more uncertain than ever. They don't know if stuff is coming back. They don't know if there's a second wave. They don't know a whole bunch of stuff. They don't know, right? And so times are extremely uncertain. So what can you do as a business? Your business still needs to thrive. Your business still needs to bring in cash flow. Your business still needs to serve customers, right? What is it that you can do? So the three things that we talked about yesterday, first thing to go over real quick was make sure you ask people what their challenges are. Ask them what they're going through, right? Don't just go off on your own and try to develop a solution for somebody from a problem that you think they have, going off and developing it in a lab somewhere, closed off, or a closet somewhere, closed off from the rest of the world. Because then when you try to sell it or when you try to present it, people are like, I don't see the need, or I don't see the want or desire, etc. So instead of doing that, instead of just kind of designing things blind or designing things just because you can, ask people what their challenges are and ask them from an open-ended question standpoint. By open-ended question, we don't mean like, are you having problems with X, Y, and Z because you know your product or service can solve X, Y, and Z? Ask them, hey, what's going on with you right now? What challenges are you having right now? And let it be open. Let it be completely open. You'll be surprised at things that they say, which are key answers to how you can better pitch your ideas, your products, your services. So make sure just ask them open-ended questions like that. What are your challenges? What's going on for you right now? What difficulties are you facing? Right? And they will tell you their pain points. So that was point number one. Point number two from yesterday, from day one, was make sure you define your ideal customer. So when you are when you're asking people their challenges, is great. In fact, it's ideal if you can ask people that fit who the mold of is your ideal customer. Go in your ideal customer in extreme detail, define them in extreme detail. Think of it like a character in a movie or a sitcom or a actually, we talked about sitcoms on day one. I don't even know if those are still around except for reruns, but or your favorite reality show, whatever it is. But all those characters are defined, and they're defined in detail. They have specific information, age. They're not an age range. They have a particular age. They have character, personality traits. They have some sort of problem that they're trying to overcome, right? So define them in extreme detail. And what this helps you do online, and it helps you cut through all the clutter that's there online. That has to be so essential because everybody online is out for their own priority, for their own purpose. Everybody online is probably trying to sell their thing or get people to buy this and that, right? So you entering the marketplace as another one of them, you're going to get drowned out. No one's going to hear your voice, no matter how loud you scream, no matter how many ads you buy, no matter how many posts you put up. But what they will hear is something that they can identify with, something that they can relate with. All right. So define your ideal customer. That was number two. And number three was be social on social media. Go where they are. So people are gathering in masses on social media for various reasons, whether it is to find out about the state of the world, find out about various movements, to find out about so many different things. Meet them where they are. You go to social media. So many people are trying to get them to come to their website, but think of social media as a big party. You're trying to go into a big party saying, hey, come over here to our website. And people are like, no, I don't want to miss out on the party. Perfect. So you go where the party is, right? And when you're there at the party, social media, be social. You're not there to sell your thing. People aren't on social media to buy. You be social, right? People do business with people they know, like, and trust, right? Actually, people do business online with people they trust, know, like, and trust. And yes, I said trust twice because it's that important. So if you missed yesterday, even if you caught yesterday, go back and watch day one of Marketing in Uncertain Times, because we go in those 3 points in extreme detail. And I want to make sure that you that those are impactful for you and that you can get the depth that we went in so that we can get to day two parts of Marketing in Uncertain Times. So day two, Marketing in Uncertain Times. Should I say day two, number one, or day two, number four? I'll say, I'll still stick with the 1, 2, 3. So day two, number one, Marketing in Uncertain Times, something that each and every one of you can do, something that each and every one of you should be doing right now with your business and with your marketing. And I will tell you up front, this takes time. This takes patience. This takes more time than you think it would or should, and for good reason. And what that is you as a business owner, you as a company owner, company leader, someone in a company, whatever your state is, you be creative. right now, there is so much opportunity for you to be creative, for you to solve new problems that you didn't even know existed, because oftentimes as business owners, we have our blinders on, right? We're focused so hard that we don't see things that's just on the right or left of us that we can really be making an impact with unless we get an outside perspective. Another reason that we talked about day one, ask people what their challenges are, because that's going to help open your perspective. And ask a bunch. Don't just ask 2 or 3. Ask as many as you can get your hands on, and just listen. Listen attentively and ask them for more. Ask them for more information about whatever challenge that is that they just gave you. Dive in. Oh, tell me a little bit more about that challenge, right? You want to you're interviewing them essentially, casually, but you're interviewing them just like, think of it like you're taking a friend to the coffee shop, right? So you being creative, our first point for today, you being creative is something that you're going to be able to be creative with the challenges that they are giving you, that they're having. And you're going to be thinking like, what are some unique ways that I can solve this challenge that they're having with my product or service? Now, one thing about this, don't be disingenuous with your product or service. If you're a plumber, for example, and the problem is that they need a website, something like that. Hopefully their problem is bigger than that, but their problem is a website. Don't say, oh yeah, I can be creative and make, you get what I'm saying, right? So stay in your lane. But there are definitely creative with some of the challenges that people say you won't be able to solve, and that's fine. But the ones that but write them all down. Don't immediately dismiss something because you don't see the connection. Write it all down. I don't care how absurd it is. Because a lot of times it takes the brain a couple of minutes, a couple of hours, sometimes a couple of days for us to get out of that our mindset or get out of that habit. Most of our thoughts that we have on a daily basis, the average human has close to 60,000 thoughts every single day. And I say the average human, are any of you average? And we see a bunch of you, one person said, no, right, you're not average. Average people are, well, I don't know what average people are doing because we're not average, but you're not average. You're here at Small Biz Better Summit. You're getting the education and getting the knowledge on how we can improve and do better, right? So business owners, parents, even business owners who are parents, so many people who aren't average, we have close to 85,000 thoughts every single day. Right. And most of these thoughts are automatic. We don't even think about the thoughts. They just happen automatically. I'll give you a perfect example. When you woke up this morning, hopefully, at least when you woke up this morning, you went to the bathroom, you brushed your teeth. You probably didn't give it a second thought, and you're probably thinking about all sorts of other things while you're brushing your teeth, because that is something that's just habitual. In fact, to go a step deeper, the habit actually lives in our body. You aren't aware of the way you're brushing your teeth, the strokes you're doing. You just probably do it the same way every single time. Try this for a creative shift. Tonight, when you go to bed, before you go to bed, try brushing your teeth with the opposite hand, right? And just notice the arquicity. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm going to use it. Notice the arquicity, right? Those things like that, challenging the status quo, even with our daily routine, they help bring so much creativity out of you that you didn't even know was there, because it's forcing the brain to not just go on autopilot. It's forcing your body to not just go on autopilot. And this is a good exercise for you in order to be to see how we can be more creative in our own businesses. For example, while we were finishing up this summit, and asking people their various challenges. Every seminar we do a lot of seminars now. We do them for corporates, for organizations. We have our own seminar series, free seminar series as part of my company, Social Marquee. And we always ask, we start out every presentation with, what are your challenges? Tell us what your challenges are. And even if it's a live presentation, we'll just have people shout them out in 5 words or less. That way we can get as many challenges in as possible. And what that causes us to do is think in new ways, or think how our customers are thinking. We know when somebody says, hey, I need a website, we know that's probably not the root challenge, right? But when somebody says, but when they say that, that gives us the opportunity to go back and say, wait a minute, all right, this is what they think the problem is. We know that this problem is a symptom of bigger, deeper root problems and root issues, right? But that came from hours, days, years of us just getting down in the dirt, being creative about the challenges that our customers are having. How can we solve those challenges? And then trying to get to the root of those challenges. So Creativity has that two-pronged arm, being creative about the solution and being creative about whatever the root problem is, especially if you're in a service-oriented business, like you're a consultant or you're a counselor or you provide some sort of service for people, right? The same thing also happens for, we work with several clients who own things like air conditioning, larger air conditioning companies where they'll go out to houses and they'll install AC units, and they're masters at this because all the consumer knows is, hey, my AC ain't blowing hot, cool air. And they're able to go in and see, hey, what is the actual problem? Same thing with mechanics. You know, we're driving car. Hey, the car won't drive. The mechanic goes in and see exactly what the root cause is. So be creative in the solution and be creative in discovering what the root cause is. And even when you find that root cause, ask the question, are there any other root causes that could be here causing this challenge, or deeper root causes that could be causing this challenge? Always challenge the status quo, especially the status quo that you have, right? I got to give props to, when we talk about creativity, I got to give props to like car insurance commercials. Have you seen car? I mean, some of them really just have me rolling. The commercial has literally nothing to do with car insurance, right? But they're telling that story. They're being creative. I like commercials. I like advertising. So we pay attention to these things, but it's amazing what creativity can do and what creativity can foster. So be creative in the solution as well as the root cause. All right. All right. Point number two, marketing in uncertain times. Point number two for day 2 of marketing in uncertain times. Point number 2 for marketing in certain times on day 2 is do not, and I repeat, do not wait for whatever you have, whatever you're doing, for it to be perfect before you present it to the world. I'll repeat that because I need that one myself. Do not wait till it's perfect or your definition of perfect until you bring it out to the world. Why is that? One, because we're humans. We are imperfect beings. It will never be perfect. Perfectionism. I'm actually a recovering perfectionist, thankfully. So one, it'll never be perfect. Perfectionism it really does you a lot more harm than good. And when I learned this 7, 8, maybe 10 years ago or so, it really helped me make new business, achieve new levels in my business because I wasn't obsessed with this idea of perfection. We are obsessed with the idea of excellence, but perfection was something that we were able that once I realized the difference, we were able to make massive differences in our business and in our clients' businesses as well. So a lot of people, especially when they go on social media, especially when they're especially when they're on social media or if they're recording video and things of that sort, they think it has to be perfect. They're like, wait, my lighting isn't right, or I'm not shaving, or I'm not, I guess our women don't have to shave, or I'm not, maybe my makeup isn't done or something like that, right? But remember, the people who need you, want you to find that ideal client, they are out there waiting and starving for you to solve their problems, right? People need your help now, especially now in today's time, right? They're not looking for in fact, when we, a fun fact, when we see perfection or quote unquote perfection on social media and things of that sort, it actually creates more doubt in our mind. Like, hey, wait, that can't be real. That's not right. Nobody, looks like that or does it like that, etc. So that imperfection, actually, Sean Smith has taught me this concept where we as a society, we're more connected in our imperfection than in perfection anyway. So don't wait till it's perfect. Meet people where they are, and where they are is also not perfect. So you're actually creating a better, stronger bond with them because they can see themselves in you, right? You might see me today. Sometimes I lose my train of thought. Sometimes I don't wait till it's perfect, right? I can't, because there's so many people out there that need our help. So many comments yesterday on day one that, oh my goodness, I needed this. And we're already working on the next summit, right? We're working on how can we continue to improve and make this better and better for people, right? But that would have never happened if we waited for it to be perfect. And I still battle this on a very regular basis because I do have a high standard of excellence, especially as it relates to our clients, and especially as it relates to our appearance. So pure transparency, we almost didn't launch the summit this weekend because there were so many things, so many more additional things I wanted to do, so many additional things I wanted to include, so many additional speakers we wanted to make sure they came in and did record, so many things. It's where I almost said, no, we need to push it back because we haven't done this, and this, and it's a long list, right? But if we'd have waited another month, another 2 months, another 3 months, or whatever to do this summit, you wouldn't be getting the value now. Everyone who got value on day one wouldn't be getting the value now. Everyone who's getting value today and from the conscious conversation later on day two wouldn't be getting the value and the help that they need right now, right? And from your perspectives, we were blown away when people, one comment that we got said, wow, you guys are just eons above everybody else. And we're like, oh, wow, this is our, maybe 55, 60% at most capacity or effectiveness of delivering a summit. We still had that 40% to go. And we're like, wow, they're really impressed with what was delivered so far. And we had so much more in store, right? So it's always, so people that need your help, people that need your guidance, people that need your solutions, they're always looking for you to just come and help them in being your own authentic self. That's all. Being authentic is everything. So once you're authentic, you don't have to worry about the perfection. So we work with a lot of clients, and some of the clients, we have them go live on Facebook or live on YouTube or live on Instagram. And a lot of them, like many people, have a fear of being on camera. Actually, it's a deeper fear than that, but we won't get into that on this talk here because that can go a little long. Actually, Sean's probably going to mention some of that either tonight or not tonight, in day two, depending on where you are in the world, in day two or in day three when he does his live Q&A. But they have this fear, or what's masked as a fear, of being on camera, right? And so when we're telling them be on live and go on live, our biggest thing, we're like, hey, just be authentic, just be you. And you'd be surprised the times where they're just them, where they're just showing their humanity in their lives. That's when the business comes in. That's when the likes and follows come in. It's not really so much the prim and polished stuff that they put out. It's the just being the real, being their real selves. A family game night that they were having that just got so many engagements on social media because they were just showing game night. And hey, I'm looking at, hey, that's something me and my family should do because we're all in quarantine and can enjoy game night together and bond together as a family, right? So them just showing their authenticity, right? So don't wait for it to be perfect. Whoever needs you right now, your clients and customers and future customers that need you, they need you to show up now. So just show up now the way you are. And that will be more than enough for them. And don't get me wrong, you will continue to naturally build and naturally grow as time goes on. All right. So don't wait for it to be perfect. That's number two. So number one, be creative, both in your solution as well as in the defining the root cause. And root cause is because usually there's several root causes. Number two, don't wait for it to be perfect. Do not wait for it to be perfect. People aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for help. People aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for authenticity. People aren't looking for perfection. They're just looking for a way to alleviate their pain points, right? And you can provide that for them right now. And you will naturally continue to grow while helping them, right? But don't wait for it to just be perfect. Do it now. Do it right. Do it now. Do it right now. That's something my dad always told me when I was young. All right. So that was point number one and point number two. And point number three, the final point for today that I want to share with you, marketing in uncertain times, is You're probably shocked about this one. In fact, you'll definitely be shocked about this one because this is a very overused word in our society. And this word is have a strategy. Have a real strategy, not just a, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna post every day on social media and somebody's gonna like it and people are gonna buy. That's not a strategy. That's you flying by the seat of your pants, right? Have a strategy, right? So I want you to start to think of this as, and I think we mentioned it yesterday a little bit, but I want to touch on a little bit more today, the orchestra conductor. Let's say you as a business owner, you are a master instrument player. Let's say your instrument is the saxophone, and you are a master instrument player. But now you're part of an orchestra. Your strategy is that orchestra, and now you're this master saxophone player with several other saxophone players who are also masters. And you group of master saxophone players are right next to the trumpet players who are all master trumpet players, who are right next to the drummers, who are all master drummers, who are right next to the pianists, who are all master pianists, who are right next to the singers, who are all master singers, and goes on and on and on. If there's not a strategy for how you're going to make all of these pieces of the puzzle work together, that symphony that all of you masters can create is going to become a catastrophe very, very quickly. So your strategy has to encompass everything with your business, your marketing strategy, your financial strategy, your operation strategy, your accounting strategy, your legal strategy. All of those things have to fit in together. When we're talking about strategy here specifically, we want you to focus on your marketing strategy. And your marketing strategy is going to have several different pieces, right? So your digital strategy, which includes your social media, your website, and your email. If you're not engaged in email marketing, that works very well with your social and your what was the middle one I said? See, I always blank out with these things. With your email and your website, right? So your email, and there's several others, but for right now, stick with those if you're just starting out. But each one of those need a strategy. And we mentioned yesterday, I think it was yesterday in this group, because we did a talk for, even if it wasn't, I'll just go over it again. I lost my train of thought. Strategy, I was talking about the strategy, email. So with your digital strategy, the three different parts that you have, your social strategy, your website strategy, and your email strategy. And your email strategy should be a part of your other two as well, the social media strategy as well as the website strategy. But what we see a lot of people doing is they'll overwhelm themselves even in the strategy because they're trying to do too many things at once. Like we'll see a lot of people when they're talking about the social media strategy, they're like, all right, our social media strategy, the social media platforms are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. There's several more, but we'll just use those 5 for right now. And they'll try to do all 5 of those at one time, especially as a small business owner. If you're a small business of 1 or 2 or 3 or 5, you can't be on all of those social platforms at one time and be effective as well. It's highly unlikely. In fact, it's not going to work, right? So with your social, if you're a small business with one employee, especially if you have one employee, this will probably shock you. Choose one platform for you to really focus on, and really build your strategy on that platform. If you don't, you're going to be in more places and least effective on each and every one of those. So pick one based on wherever your ideal customer is, pick that platform and build a strategy for that platform. And that strategy should also match with your email strategy, should also match with your website strategy. But it's so important that you have a strategy with these things. If you don't, you're that master trumpet player or that master saxophonist in this great big orchestra without any real direction. You're just doing your own thing. And although you are a master, you're throwing off this entire orchestra also full of masters because you don't have a strategy that aligns with everyone else. Does that make sense? And so we love this analogy. Think of it like a recipe, right? So I like desserts. I have a real big sweet tooth. I like cakes, chocolate chip cookies, the soft chocolate chip cookies that have the nice little crispy outside, but the soft center. I'm a sucker for those. Same thing with brownies. I love those. So those three desserts, cakes, brownies, and cookies. I'm really hungry right now. Cakes, brownies, and cookies. They all have the same ingredients. They all have flour, egg, sugar, milk, butter, and other stuff, salt, right? But what makes them different is what different combination of those ingredients, how those ingredients are mixed, when they're mixed, at what temperature we're baking them, how long we bake them. So that entire recipe is what makes those same mix of ingredients different, right? So that's your strategy. Your strategy is that one of those is that a recipe for all those ingredients that you mix together in order to make your your business, or to make your business successful, right? So I want you to think of it in that instance, and worry not. You're on our list now. If you're watching this Small Biz Better Summit, we have several free seminars on how to do things like strategy, your marketing strategy, your social media strategy, things of that sort, because we literally can go for days on just strategy. In fact, that's mostly what we do, is we develop the strategies for companies so that they and their marketing teams can implement those strategies. Also, we do it for small businesses, where sometimes we implement the strategies for them, right? But that's part of the artistry, right? Is mixing that recipe. Marketing is one of those things that it's an art that masks itself as a science. People think, oh, if I just post more, people will see more and people will buy more. That is not the case. It's really an art. It's a heartfelt art. And that's one thing that we aim to help people do, is get back to the heartfelt in marketing, right? Because marketing is more about, this was actually something that really blew me away when I realized it. But I was doing some personal development last year, and one of the things I realized, we were talking about passions and what is our passion? What do we live for? What do we put on this earth to do? And one of the things that I was, they're saying, hey, if you are doing your passion, you'll never work a day in your life. And I was like, well, I love marketing. I love what I do. I've been doing it for 22 years. I've had this company for 12. I love it. But something in me just told me it's not marketing. Because 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago, the human species was not incarnated with marketing, right? It wasn't a thing back then. So one of the things that I realized was passion is something it's bigger and deeper than anything that's surface level, and marketing was one of those surface level things. And so what hit me was the fact that, wait a minute, what I really love and what I'm really passionate about is connecting people. And that's what we do. Marketing is just the tool that we use to connect people, right? And that was something that just, when I realized that we're not a digital marketing agency, we're really a connection company, right? And that just, even after 12 years, it was like a new rebirth. It was a new awakening, right? And that's something that you can do in your business as well. And that has affected our strategy so much, because now we know the core. It took a while for us to get there, but now that we're at that core, we're able to speak from that core and speak from that heart and really help others speak heart to heart with their messaging and their marketing. That way that if everybody's actually more heart-led, it just helps the world be a better place. And Lord knows we need that now, right? And so I just wanted to share that with you, because it's really these, because marketing is such a art, it really takes you to get down deep into your passion, your vision, your mission of your company. That's really where your marketing and your connection with other people is going to come from. Every seminar we get questions about what posts should I be doing, what email marketing platform should I have, what all these other things. Doesn't matter. Pick one. What is your heart? What is your vision? What are your core values? What are your mission, right? That's what's really matters. That's what's going to connect people. And that's what's really going to help drive that strategy. So before you even start with the strategy, start with the foundation. Define your mission, define your vision, define your core values. And Vision Cake, one of our title sponsors, would love that I just said define your vision, because that's what they do. They help people build their visions. They help people build their visions, make those visions clear, and manifest those visions, and help them align with those visions so that they can manifest those visions. So those are the three things I want you to remember today for marketing in uncertain times. The first one, be creative in the solution, as well as be creative in the root cause, and the root cause is. All right. Second thing, don't wait for it to be perfect. One, it'll never be perfect. Two, people don't need your perfection. They need you. They need your authenticity. Right. Third thing, have a strategy. Make sure you spend time on your strategy. Please make sure you spend time on your strategy. If you do nothing else, the stuff that I've said today, spend time on your strategy. And it starts with you understanding you. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a lawyer, what is it about law that gives you passion about what you're doing? If you're a plumber, what is it that gives you passion about what you're doing? If you're a consultant, what is it that gives you passion about what you're doing, right? So no matter what it is that you're doing, find whatever your passion is in that, find whatever your purpose is in that. And that's what's going to help your marketing efforts be that much more effective. It's going to help your strategy be that much more effective. It really is going to help everything be that much more effective, because we're dealing with root things here. If you have a tree growing in your yard or tree growing in your backyard or front yard, you can do whatever you want to the leaves, but if you don't attack the roots of that tree, the leaves are just going to keep producing the same fruit. If you got a lemon tree, but you want it to produce apples, that lemon tree will never produce apples. You got to go to the roots of that tree, change the roots to an apple tree, and now you will finally, over years, have a tree that produces apples, right? But our society has us fooled thinking, I got a lemon tree, I want apples, let me just chop off these lemons, tape up some apples, and hey, apple tree, until the next season comes along and you got lemons again, right? And that's just pretty much what a lot of people have with their marketing efforts, right? So start with the root, start with the foundation. Wow. So I know I said a lot there, but make sure you take these things, make sure you take these principles in, make sure you really take these principles to heart, because they can really change your business. They can really have an impact on your business. And I am a witness to the power of the things they can do for your business. Start at those roots, start at the foundation. Right. So this was day 2 of Marketing in Uncertain Times. We still got another whole day of things in store and marketing in uncertain times. So 3-part series. And what we actually figured yesterday, because there's actually so much a part of this, we're actually probably going to, we're actually turning this series into a course, or turning it into something bigger, because there's so many components that we're not even able to talk about on the summit, because we just don't have time. And we want to start to give that people. So we're creating like an intro series, or an intro mini series, a free intro mini series or mini course for people marketing in uncertain times, so that they can start to have better impact in their business, start to have better impact with their customers and with their clients, right? And that was another thing about being creative. Never thought of it before. We're just like, hey, people need help. We have all this information. How are we going to deliver it? Oh, let's do a little miniature course and let's give it to people free. We're in certain times. Let's help them out, give them some certainty, right? So that's another example of that creativity. So I want to make sure each and every one of you do this in your business. We see the questions in the chat. Make sure you continue to put the questions in the chat. We want all of those questions. So keep entering those. Enter your challenges. Even though we're about to stop this session now, I'll leave it up for a little bit so you can still enter whatever questions, challenges, takeaways that you got. Also share any takeaways that you got there in the chat. You won't be able to see the comments. We see them all. We see all your comments throughout the day, where you're from, and some of the comments that you're making throughout the session. So please continue to enter those. We'll leave the chat up. We'll leave this up for the next minute or so, even after we close the session and after we stop the recording. So I want to remind you that day two is hosts our conscious community connection conversation live panel, talking about a lot of the things that are going on in society right now with the unfortunate death of George Floyd and how that impacts small businesses. We'll be talking about issues, injustice, diversity, equality, how to have difficult conversations. And we're just having an open forum with some of our summit speakers, myself, Sean Smith, Amy Summers, who all spoke on day 1 of the summit. They're going to be there live, taking your questions, taking your comments live. So we'll all be there to support you. So we look forward to seeing you there. It's on your schedule in the summit schedule. So check that, depending on where you are in the world. It could be tonight, it could be this afternoon, it could be technically tomorrow morning, depending on where you are in the world. But that is live. So we do, when we send out the emails with the schedule, it does customize the schedule based on where you are, based on where you're located, the time zone that you're located. So that will give the actual indication of when that is taking place. 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time today. And we're looking forward to that. We want to thank our title sponsors again, Social Marquee, Better Digital Marketing for Business Growth. That's my agency. Owned it now for 12 years. Really, really love what we do. Our team loves what we do. And also Vision Cake, helping people make a clear vision, align with that vision, and manifest that vision. So we want to thank our title sponsors. Thank all of our non-title sponsors as well. They're located on the individual pages of each of the talks. So please show them some patronage as well, because they actually make this available to you to be able to be brought to you for free. So we want to show them some love as well. So with that, we thank you so much for attending day 2 of Marketing in Uncertain Times. Make sure you check day 3, Marketing in Certain Times, same time, same place. Again, day 3 tomorrow. We're also remember tonight, the live community connection conversation. And also on day 3, we have live Q&A with summit speakers, myself, Sean, on sales and marketing, as well as from their sessions, right? So make sure you check out the information for day 3 so you can attend those live. And with that, we're going to stop the recording. We're going to close out the session. Again, we're going to leave this open for a few of your comments. Please leave whatever takeaways that you've gotten, whatever challenges you have, and whatever questions you have, your takeaways, your challenges, your questions. Go ahead and leave those in the chat. We're going to leave it open for a while to capture those. And with that, we'll see you in the very next session. The information for the very next session is in your email box. Just click on that the way you clicked on that to enter this room. Thank you again so much for attending Small Better Summit. We love you. We love this, being able to come to you and give you this value. And we look forward to the rest of the day and the rest of the summit and for future summits. So thank you again so much. See you in the very next session.